like six questions to ask you today, just regarding kind of like your time at Central,
Okay.
your thoughts on being inducted in the Hall of Fame, stuff like that. So my first one for you is, for starters, just congratulations on coming, well, soon inducted into the CW Athletic Hall of Fame. What does this mean to you?
I think it's a pretty I think it's a pretty cool accomplishment. I mean, I remember kind of part of my pregame when I was in like Nicholson before, like in home games and stuff. Before they all redid it, they used to have like the plaques down towards the basketball. And then I'd always walk through there just as kind of like a pregame tradition, just to look at all the people that were in the Hall of Fame and knew that someday, I don't know, just I wanted to be in there, I guess.
And so you had one of the most illustrious football careers here at CW. What is it like to be able to look at the CW football record book and still see that you are the record holder in multiple categories after only a couple years away from the game?
I think it's fun. I think it's like the competitive part of, I don't know, all sports, I guess. It's just fun to be able to see your name still on the record books. I know, like, throughout the years, I know there's I can't remember anybody's names, but I know there was a guy right after me that was getting pretty close, and you know, some of my buddies were joking around, making fun of, making fun of it and stuff, and but yeah, it's fun to be able to still see your name up there and on all the accomplishments that I was able to do over there.
And so you are currently tied for the third longest interception in a single game in CW football history, running back a 99-yard interception against Humboldt State. Can you kind of walk me through that moment? What was that like, and what were you feeling when you were running that ball back?
Uh, the interception.
The 99-yard one. I know you had plenty of interceptions, so
Yeah,
it might be hard, but
yeah. I think it was actually versus Western Oregon.
oh really?
Yeah, I think it was versus Western Oregon. We were playing at home, and I think it was like obviously it was down at the goal line, and we had just stopped them on third or fourth down, and then a penalty was called. So we had to redo it all over again. So then it was like 7 or 8 plays, and then they went for it again on fourth down. So it was 8 plays in a row. We were down within the 10-yard line. And yeah, the guy, I think we were running cover two, and the guy threw it right to the flat, and I picked it off and ran it back. And I just remember as I was running by some of their players because it was down on their end zone or their sideline that they were all yelling stuff like fall down, trip, and different things like that. But yeah, it felt good at the time.
And who was the team that you loved playing against the most, and why?
Um, I think between Western Oregon and Western Washington. I know Western Washington was our big rivals. It was always fun to play against other Washington kids, and then Western Oregon, they always talked a bunch, so it was always nice to be able to play against them and try to beat them. Those were the two. I think those were the two big rivalries that we had when I was playing.
How often are you able to get over to Ellensburg to see some of the games?
My brother-in-law played after me. So I played, we went to a bunch of games when my kids were like young. Um, but in recent years, I haven't been back very often just because I have kids that are playing every weekend and everything. So it's just hard to make it back for a game. But my oldest son's actually a freshman, and I dropped him off. He went to Central football camp last year, so it was kind of fun to be able to walk back through and drop him off at the dorms and walk around the field a little bit and see all those different things that when I was there. I think I dropped him off at the exact same dorm that I lived in as a freshman.
Oh, really? Got to
Yeah.
talk about to all the sites.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Well, I know that we're all very excited to have you back in town. And my final question for you is just asking about if you have any stories that you're willing to share with us and CW Wildcat Nation from your time here at Central.
Yeah. Just football stories?
Football stories, just memories that you have of being here in Ellensburg, like whatever you're willing to share. I know I've gotten
Yeah.
a lot of responses before that are like, a lot of them maybe aren't appropriate for everybody.
Yeah, probably not. I yeah, a lot of the stories we had were just like, being around football team, hanging out with my roommates and stuff. Just um trying to think of like a specific one. Um guess now I'm on the spot. I'm trying to just go through all the different memories back there.
It's always harder when you're put on the spot.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think just mostly like, yeah, game days and being able to hang out with like my roommates. All my roommates were football players. Uh, just like the specifics, trying to think about. I always like being. Oh, I got one like funny memory. So I forget the name of the building right next to Nicholson. It was like the health department or something. I don't even know. But during fall ball, when it was like 95 degrees outside, that's where we had all of our meetings right next door to there, whatever that little building was. And we'd always have our team meetings at night after practices and go over film and stuff. And we were getting ready for our team meeting, and I think I was talking a bunch of crap to a bunch of the linemen or something. And in one of the rooms right next door, there was a bunch of cadavers, and they grabbed me and threw me in there and shut the door, and I was freaked out of my mind. Just like all those like horror story thoughts were going through my mind. I was like screaming and kicking the door and trying to get out of there as much as I possibly can. Just one of those things uh, that it was funny at the time. It wasn't funny at the time, but it's a funny story now looking back on it. But those were like the fun things back in the day, just being able to hang out with guys and uh, just have just different experiences. The funny moments and the joking around, just being around at least 100 guys all the time.
Absolutely understand it. They say that a team is like your family, so.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, I think that that's all I got for you. I really
Okay.
appreciate your time. And I look forward to getting to finally meet you in person when
Yeah.
you make your way over.